Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wannan shine video namu na 8 a cikin wannan series da muke mai suna Koyi SQL. Kamar yadda na faɗa, insha Allah zan bayani akan SQL tun daga farko har zuwa gwargwado abin da ya kamata a ce mutum ya sani a ciki. Idan ba za ku manta ba, video namu na ƙarshe mun yi bayani akan auto increment. Yau insha Allah za mu yi bayani akan yadda ake creating table a cikin SQL. When creating table you are going to create a table to write a query that particular query will create a particular table for you with particular columns da kake so ka samu. So all the videos da muka yi yanzu tun daga na farko har zuwa na bakwai, we are going to apply what we have learned a wannan creating table. So if you want to create a table, first of all, there are two ways for now. You just click here. If you want to use a database, for example, I just click on this new query, but I know I have a database. I can just say I want to use a particular database with my work. So I just need to write use Ahmad. That's the name of the database, because the name of the database is Ahmad. So I will just write the name of the database and I will execute it. So I say use Ahmad. So if I say this use Ahmad and I create a table, this table will be under the database Ahmad. So by default, you need to select the database that you want to create a table under it. So you can use this method, or you can go under your database like this. I have Ahmad here. You can just click here and just click new query, or you can do it like this. If you click here, by default you select Ahmad. So now I already select Ahmad database, but if I use that one, this query, I just write a query and I say use Ahmad. That if I want to use Ahmad. So I think anyone you write you like, you can use it. So I'm just going to use this use Ahmad. So I'm just going to write use Ahmad. It means I'm going to use Ahmad database. So I'll just click this. So in order for you to create the table, first of all, we are going to write the command create, like we did with the like we did with the database. So we are going to say create, then we write table. So after this table, we are going to write the name of the table that we want to create. Let's say this table that we want to create, we are going to call it, for example, let's say let's call it Hamad. That's the name of the table. So after the create, then table, then the name of the table, then you put brackets or parentheses anyway, then you put colon at the end. So when you did this, you click create table, the name of the column, then this, then you are going to press enter. So inside here, this is where you are going to create all the columns for this table, because now it's just empty table, there is no any column in it. So first of all, the tables we are going to create ID, we are going to create full name, we are going to create gender, and we are going to create date of birth. So these are the 4 columns that we are going to create. So first of all, we are going to say ID, then you start with name. After name, you followed with the data type. So I say ID, the data type is int. Then if you want auto increment, then we did it for ID. We are going to say identity, then we say 1, 1, then we are done with int, then you put comma at the end of each column, then you press enter, then you come to the next line. So now I'm going to say full name underscore name. Take note, in creating your columns, don't use space. You can't use space. You can't use number at the first. Don't use space, don't use number. So understand all this. In the name, don't put full name, full underscore space name. Don't use that. And don't put 1, or don't put 1 first, 1 full name. I think don't use that. So you need to have a very good practice on the name. So when you say full name, then you say varchar, then we put 255, we close the bracket, then we put this. So you see, I put the name, I followed it with this, then if I want not null or something like that, I put it, but I don't. I'm just going to write this. Then we are going to create, I say gender. Yeah, we are going to create gender, then I say varchar. So for the gender, I'm just going to say 10. I'm not going to put a lot of things. So then the date of birth, we're going to just say DOB. Then we are going to say varchar. Then I'm going to say, for example, 255. So I think the last one, let's just have a float. For example, let's just say height, then we call it plot, then we say float. That's the data type. So we say float, and that's all. We don't need to put comma because of this colon that we have at the end. So that's all what we are going to do. So the next thing we are going to do after this, all we need to is to highlight from this column up till create table. Highlight it all, then you click on execute. So that's all. By default, we create a new table called Hamad. So if I refresh now, we are going to have a table here. On that table, we are going to have database table like this. It's called Hamad. So this is the table that we created, and that's how you create a table inside SQL, by creating a command. If I want to create another table, I'm just going to copy this command and I'll paste it. I create it. I will just change a name. Sorry, I'll just copy this. I'll copy this, paste it, then I'll change the name and I'll call it Gusau. Gusau, then I will highlight it like this, then I will just execute. It will create another table Gusau for me. If I refresh here now, sorry, I refresh, sorry, let me just refresh. I refresh. See, it's going to create Hamad Gusau for us. So this is how you create table. Please try as much as you can to learn how to create table in SQL. Please try as much as you can to learn that, and I know it will help you a lot. So for the constraint, I think we didn't put any constraint, so let's create another table so that we use the constraint. So let me just copy this one again, paste it, then I will call it Zamfara. So this one I will just put not null, not null. Yeah, it's not null, so I'll just copy it. That's the constraint I use for this one. Let's say for the DOB, for example, maybe I will say unique. I will just put unique. DOB, you can't put unique because most of the people first post January archives. So I'll just put it. I just want to show you how you will use the constraint. So I will execute. That's all. So we execute another table. We call it Zamfara, and the table has constraints. So let me just put it here. I open it here. I'll refresh. So like this, I refresh it. Then we have another table, Zamfara. So please go ahead, create tables, write queries. This is awesome. And if you are using SQL, one thing about SQL, kind of writing that again, executing and work, that you just commands and celebrating kind of that is. So try as much as you can to create your own table. Write whatever you want. Create table with multiple columns, different columns. Execute it. Idan ya aiki, you will celebrate zaka cewa kai amfani da table naka. So this is where we are going to stop inshallah cikin wannan video. Da batar Allah ka samu dace. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.